Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. A brand new day full of hopes and dreams and promises and threats. So, life is life. You know, life is a balance between the threats and the promises, the bad and the good. Yay, thumbs up for that. I was going to talk about something immediately, but of course I've forgotten about it. So of course I'm going to mention this. One of the big things that I was thinking about last night, because one of the problems with trying to use a machine that is affected by a problem to try and measure how badly the machine is being affected by the problem is that your machine is affected by the problem. So it's hard to measure the problem when the problem is a part of the machine you're trying to measure the problem with. I say this because my brain, unfortunately, one of the things that I also have to deal with, I don't have like classical fibromyalgia. I have hot spots, but I don't have them everywhere. I have some parts of it, but I don't have others. I have some parts bad, I have others like nothing. So it's not classical fibromyalgia, but nothing ever is. Everything is all just probability ranges and who knows what's going to happen. But one of the things I do have is fibrofog, brain fog, where you can't think very clearly. And unfortunately, when that happens, it affects your brain. And so you're trying to use your brain to determine how much your brain is being affected by the thing that's affecting your brain. And so I've just been finding it difficult to be really creative, to really think about things. And even last night, while I was realizing that, normally I can, when on Ritalin, I can think and remember things. I can start thinking of something at the beginning of my walk, and at the end of my walk, I've thought about it the entire time. When I am in deep brain fog, like I have been, going out on walkies and trying to think is like it was before I was medicated, and that I could think about things for a little while, but if I got distracted, gone. If I got distracted, gone. I get distracted, gone. But on Ritalin, and I'm out walking, I can be thinking about something happens. I pop the thoughts on the pause track, deal with what's happening, and then once that's done, I take my thoughts back off the pause track and continue. I can be thinking of something before I go into Safeway, come back out and go, okay, now to continue. Whereas before it was, I walk into Safeway, blank slate, everything starts over. Just an example, it's anything. It doesn't have to be Safeway, it could just be walking down the street. So that was happening a lot last night once I was fully aware of what was going on. So yay. So I've had a lot of brain fog, a lot of fibro fog. It's not, you just can't think clearly or well. So on top of everything, as stated, it's joyous. Oh, this was one of the annoying things that popped into my head, because I have mentioned how our house here that we rent abuts against a forest block, and this summer it has just been clouds of flies everywhere. I mean, there's clouds of flies everywhere anyway. If you go out walking on country trails or just trails through forests, you're walking through clouds of just insects everywhere. Well, we're right up against the forest, and I have my window open, and my housemates frequently open up the front door and back door downstairs so that there's a cross breeze to keep it cooler. There's bugs. They use a lot of fly strips downstairs, and they are usually choked with bugs very, very quickly. So yesterday, when I came in here first thing in the morning, there was just like 8 black flies on the ceiling. And I wasn't gonna deal with that. I get irritated to the point of madness, just 1 or 2 flies buzzing around. I'm not gonna have 8 of them, because with my kitty cat, I haven't actually seen her in 24 hours. So I put food out last night before I went to bed. So there's stuff like open cat food, open all the time, with the window open, and the cross breeze blowing the breeze outward, so there's the smell of stuff like cat food and hamster food. And I got a cat box, and those things waft outside, and insects like them. And there's tons of things downstairs, and insects like them. So after I went through, because I just couldn't take it, I try not to kill. A common housefly, that's a different thing. I will gladly slaughter them. Not with my bare hands or anything, ugh. But I got hold of some of my housemates' last remaining bit of bug spray. Went looking for bug spray last night. They didn't have any at the local Safeway. Oh joy. And I carefully shot the flies with the stuff. I had to be careful. I didn't want to zap anything else in here. You know, there's the occasional little moth and stuff like that. And I have spiders in the corners. And I don't want to zap and kill the spiders. So I had to try and zap the flies making sure I didn't zap anything else. But then I cleared them out. Maybe one, maybe two. By the time I went to bed last night, of course, with my window open, with the door open there at the side, I have it shut when I'm recording it. I open it once I'm done editing and recording and all that. By the end of the day, I had 5 or 6 flies buzzing around in here again. And then this morning, for whatever reason, this part of my arm, every time I have not paid attention, something has gone onto this arm, whether it's a fly or a mosquito. It's just been driving me nuts. So, yay. Still, hopefully it'll hit like winter, cold, and kill bugs time soon. Here's hoping. But I do have some other stuff here written down on my list on the things of stuff that I do want to talk about. One of the things that I do want to talk about is, especially when I'm doing my gaming stuff where the character that you play, your protagonist, is more amoral, if not completely immoral, where I will fall into the fun of it can be fun to pretend to be a psychopath, a sociopath. You know, I'll start talking about it. It's like, oh, you know, it's like the main character will say, oh, we just need a little bit of blood. And it's like, a little bit of blood? You don't need a little bit of blood. You need enough blood to fill a swimming pool. You gotta get a lot of innocents and drain them to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool. So, yeah, you don't need a little blood. You need to start rounding up the innocents so that you can drain them and fill your pool. And I think, yeah, I do a whole bunch of stuff like that, where it's like I play around with, well, you know, it's a good thing, planetary human extinction. The thing is, though, as much as I talk around and joke around about with stuff like that, if I don't know how many people have been watching and listening for any length of time, but there is a story that I'm still working on in my head. It's like a 12-issue comic book mini-series, but it's the adventures of Lemonhead, where it takes place in a minor superhero world, and the main character is Lemonhead, has the ability where as long as this person knows that an attack is coming, it doesn't even have to be a specific thing, just I'm going to be attacked, they cannot be hurt. But for whatever reason, and they rent themselves out to be beaten up at things so that people can self-promote. But for whatever reason, he goes to one of his gigs. The person that hires him a lot gives him a whap, and he dies. We find out in the autopsy, his neck is broken. But it wasn't broken immediately. It must have broken a long time ago. But for whatever reason, it finally did it. So it's not the fault of the guy that did it. But it's just one death, one person, a minor person, a clown, really. But these things affect everybody hard. I mean, sure, I play around and laugh about the death of hundreds and thousands, if not millions, and it's like, yeah, you gotta make it up close and personal. But This is a story about one guy who dies and how it affects so many people. Sometimes in good ways, most times in not. I mean, after all, the person that thinks that they did it ends up drinking themselves to death. There are other people that when they hear about how he died, they are heroes, minor heroes or villains, but they get out of the business because hearing that this person who shouldn't be able to get killed got killed, they're starting to anxiety themselves into their powers are going to fail and they're going to die, or they're just going, well, what if I do? And then there are the others that are inspired to go, this person died doing what they could with the ability that they have. I will do what I can. And that's just one death. And that's, while fictional, it happens that way in real life. Even a death in the neighborhood where you live can bring down an entire neighborhood. Now, of course, it matters how much you are engaged with things. If you're a person who doesn't engage with anybody, you might die, and it might be a couple of years before they find you. But if you are engaged with people and places, people notice and they know, and it hurts. So as much as I joke about it, they are just jokes. So no fear. I mean, I have way too much empathy to be an actual psychopath or sociopath. I can't even be a narcissist. Thumbs up. But I do have some other stuff that I did want to talk about, I think, because I do want to talk about things. One of them still is the whole neurodivergent term. I've mentioned before, in fact it was yesterday, how the mental health field has dropped the term Asperger's because of a lot of different things, but also the I hate it when my vocal cords fail in mid-talk, especially with its connections to the whole Nazi stuff. But I don't like, as I've mentioned, things like neurodivergent, because they're neurotraditional or neurotypical isn't a one thing state. It is a broad range. And so neurotypical, you can be neurodivergent inside the neurotypicality, as I don't like that term as well. It's got all of those various eugenics feelings to it, which I admit are likely just read into it by me, and maybe nobody else feels that way. But neurodivergent, I do not like that term. So as I mentioned, I like a neurotypical, just to indicate you're not with the norm, or neurovaried. I actually like that one, because after all, you're just variants in human existence. Very few things, there are some, very few things in the variations of people are actual flaws. Most are just variations of things that happen. So, I prefer things like a neurotypical. I'm a neurotypical. I'll go with that. I'm neurovaried. Yeah, I'll go with that. Thumbs up. Language is important as much as there are those out there that will try to tell you that it's not, as they use words that they know hurt other people. So that's why I don't like that term. So thumbs up. I don't really have anything else written down other than the fact that, well, this morning I did have a mistake, so I'm going to talk about this one real quick because it is kind of funny, and also I hope I didn't screw things up too bad. Before I do my wash, they recommend that once a week you run a cup of bleach through your washing machine. So I do that. So this morning I put bleach in the washing machine, and then I got distracted, and when I came back I put in soap, I put in my underwear and socks, and I put in some other things, and I was just about to start the machine. I went, this is the bleach cycle. So I had to take all that stuff out and then run the regular machine, but that means there's bleach on the stuff that I put in there, and so there's gonna be some bleaching damage to some things, hopefully not a lot. Oh boy, but that was better than just washing it all in just bleach. Oh boy. So, yay. But I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab, and holy smokes. I'm gonna have to make up, since I didn't have time to talk about it, since I forgot about it, everything that happened yesterday with my phone and stuff. Joy. Anyway, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. There's far less than 25 people to thank, but I'm going to thank however many people left me comments. Yay. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression and fibro fog, I've been having a whole lot of memory issues. So Martin Burnson, thumbs up and thank you. Ice Damon, greatly appreciated. Chemical W6, thumbs up and thank you. Steve Danger, greatly appreciated. Fabiano Ferbino, thumbs up and thank you. Then there's a big old worm. I do need to do a whole video on this. Spring Trap, thumbs up. And then there's Haley Marshall, greatly appreciated, and yes indeed there is, it's in the text description under every video. Runny Anime, thumbs up. Johnny K, greatly appreciated, it's a fun game. 05 Bradley Natan Canez Dolan Heidi, one day I'll get it correct, but thank you. No, Dolan Talide. I got it badly wrong before. Lexi Coley, thumbs up. Then there's David Braithwaite, greatly appreciated. Denial, thumbs up and thank you. Colin Reisenauer, greatly appreciated. Haley Laura, thumbs up, and that is it. Yay! All these people that left comments got me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, and it is appreciated to no end. Thumbs up and thank you. And with my hands in the air, I do not know what device you are watching this on, so I do not know where the text description for the video is, but inside of it I have links to all of my channels, way cool. Also links to things like my Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com, and if you could become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. Yes, indeed. These people help keep me alive, and they help keep my pets alive, and that's a very good thing. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron somewhere, there is a link in that text file to things like my PayPal. That would be cool. And thanks to every single person that sent me money. Again, I'm going to make a video explaining all why I'm talking about this sort of thing if you have no ideas. So thumbs up on that. I derailed myself. But if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I'll go from there. I do take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart. I love fibro fog. And if you can toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely a thumbs up, and of course if you hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. Thumbs up. Oof da, my brain. Yay. I woke up this morning, my sinuses are just full. I've been coughing and hacking. There's either something in the air that's got me by the sinuses or got a minor cold, hard to say. Still though, today on the day I'm recording this, it is Sunday, so I'm going to be taking it slow. I hope you take it slow. I hope you get the things done that you want to do. I hope you relax and take it easy. And of course, with the covfefe bug raging horrifically throughout the United States, if you have to go out, please maintain your social distancing. Wear a mask. Try not to touch your face. Wash your hands frequently. There we go. Get vaxxed if you can. Get a booster if it's available. And hokey smokes, it's burning through our schools here in Shelton. So joy. Still, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is, well, quite frankly, that's a good thing in my book.